Hello and welcome to you Talking to Me. Ebola virus has affected more than 10,000 people in West Africa, including 5,000 deaths. That's the figures according to the World Health Organization, but many experts think these ones may even be higher. So, how the EU deal with this humanitarian disaster and why the EU member states are failing to help these affected countries? This is the debate of You Talking to Me today. My two guests are Enrico Brivio, you the spokesperson of the European Commission on Health and Food Safety. Hello and welcome. Charles Goerens, Ebola rapporteur for the European Parliament and a Liberal member.
Yes.
Hello and welcome.
Nobody's perfect.
After being criticized of not doing enough, the EU agreed to increase its support to 1.24 billion euros. So this includes 300 million will be supported by the European Commission and 900 by the EU member states. Mr. Brivio, could you tell us which member state will pay what, but most how this amount will be invested?
Well, this amount will be invested in mobile laboratories, humanitarian experts and specialists in infectious disease that will be sent there to the region. And this will be coordinated by the European Commission and by the coordinator, Christos Stylianidis, that was nominated the 24th October. Mm-hmm. And actually, Mr. Stylianidis, with Commission of Health, Vytenis Andriukaitis, just left for Africa. For
this week, yeah, in this week.
Just now for Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea Conakry to be on the spot. They both have medical background, and to be there to see which are the real need of the affected countries.
But how this amount will be invested?
Well, as I said, mobile laboratories, humanitarian experts and specialists in infectious disease will send to the region. There will be medical equipment, aid supplies, ambulances, mm-hmm. and field hospitals. Then there will be even more aid that will be decided this week, and this will go in part 17 more million to new funding in those countries, and other 12 million even to the neighboring country, so to provide assistance to those countries neighboring the affected region.
Mr. Goerens, you welcome this commitment, but is this enough?
No, it's not enough. One must say, first of all, it's not only a matter of budgetary means, it's a matter of coordination among European member states, and this coordination was failing. Despite the fact that it's laid down in the Lisbon Treaty, we have to act together once we have to face a catastrophe.
So do we have
like
to set up
Ebola.
a single strategy to immediate action rather than this?
In this specific case, where is no less at stake as the health of people living in Africa, in China, in Europe, everywhere on the globe. This is epidemics with global character, with the potential of a global catastrophe. That's the reason why we have to act. We had to act as soon as possible. One must admit that the European Commission reacted very soon after the outbreak in late March, but that was not enough. The World Health Organization admitted that they were failing by underestimating the size and dimension of the catastrophe. And well, it's up to the European Union to show to the rest of the world that we are able to overcome these failures by better coordinating our efforts.
So there are also an amount of 280 million euros to boost EU research and new vaccines on Ebola.
Yes.
But Mr. Brivio, do you think we just need to help these countries on the ground? Why the EU doesn't help the countries or coordinate on the ground there? The health or improving the healthcare system?
No, I think they are helping. And as you mentioned exactly the 280 millions that were made available by the Commission itself for vaccine and medication. But the proof is that we had the two commissioners of a new commission that was just appointed that left for Africa just to be there and see with their eyes what's going on. Then there will be more technical mission following, that will control all the exit controls made in the airport, because those are crucial to avoid also that this disease spread all around the world. So there is a clear response from a commission that was just appointed, and one of the priorities clearly set was the fight on Ebola, and this is the proof that, I mean, two commissioners went to Sierra Leone and Liberia and Guinea-Conakry right away. There is on one hand this effort of coordination that had to be strengthened, and this is what the Commission is doing. And the other way, there is also a coordination of the information and preparedness of Europe. So we have just launched a new platform enabling the rapid exchange of information among all the member states in Europe. So these are the two levels on which the Commission is acting, both in Africa and in Europe.
But maybe this is not enough. And let's have a look at our comments on Facebook. Annika wrote that Europeans have been waiting the first cases in Europe to react. It is a shame, she said. And she asked why the EU was not able to react at the beginning of the Ebola crisis. Mr. Goerens, could you
It's a shame because of the incapacity of the European member states. We are 29 actors, the Commission plus 28 member states, to overcome the situation by better coordinating. Let's say, for instance, the key function fulfilled by the evacuation capacity. Once you have a medical doctor acting in the region affected by Ebola, and once he is contaminated by the virus, he has to be repatriated as soon as possible. And the first 24 hours are decisive for his chances to survive.
So why are we failing on this?
We have. I come from Luxembourg, and my country had announced a few days ago that we will put in place as soon as possible an evacuation capacity. And another contribution of my country, for instance, is the announced by SES Astra, Satellite Society, to give at the disposal of the World Health Organization and everybody dealing with the Ebola problems 2 channels in order to inform 20 million people living in the contaminated region. These are only two contributions. We have to act in a way that we can give a global response. And what I have criticized over the past 3 months is that the European Union didn't have a master plan in order to see who does what and when and who is going to pay for it.
So another interesting question from Gida. So how much would it cost for Europe if you have to face a virus like Ebola, Mr. Brivio?
Well, I don't think this is a real hypothesis. I don't think there's a likelihood that Ebola would spread in Europe. But it would be obviously a very high cost, very difficult to estimate. But
we cannot exclude it.
We cannot exclude it. That's why we're getting prepared for the worst. That's why we are setting out also this new platform of information, of exchange between all the medical system of the member states. But this is a clear subject where you see that there is need for more Europe. So more coordination. This is true. The Commission is making an effort, but the member states have to get into that idea that even on the health systems, there's a need for more coordination to get a common response. And this is a clear case in which you see that. So also those parties who criticize Europe could see that in a situation like that, when you have a common enemy, which is a disease, it's very important to have more Europe.
Do you want to react on Mr. Brivio?
I'm not criticizing Europe, I'm criticizing the incapacity of the 29 actors to overcome their divisions, the delays in reacting, and that's what is at stake. We have to better organize the coordination among Europeans. In my view, the fact that Mr. Stylianides has been appointed coordinator for Ebola, it's a pretty symbolic value. Because
it's not only symbolic.
Because if you refer to the provisions of the treaty, the European Commission has already the ability to coordinate efforts among, if not in this case, when?
Yeah, but there is a person that could be identified, which is assisted by another commissioner, which is Commissioner Markakis, and there is a clear engagement. So I think
I am supportive to that, but nevertheless, it's not neither Mrs. Georgieva's responsibility nor Stylianides. It's the fact that the 28 member states were not in a position accepting a coordination by the Commission. That's what is at stake. And we have to draw the conclusions, the political conclusions relying on the functioning of the European Union from this failure. Yes, let's name it failure.
So, is the European Commission also ready to rebuild the economy of these affected countries? Because we see that this disease has also affected their economies. They will need time to recover. We need to rebuild economies after the disease.
Yes, I mean, there is a clear effort. We talked about the numbers, which goes both on aid for development and on the medical side. So there is a clear engagement. As I said, the Juncker Commission just was appointed, and he put it as one of the priorities to fight this terrible disease and to give aid to the countries affected. And I think it's giving clear sign. It is true that there has been failure in the coordination, but I think now the commitment of the Commission is all there to have a better situation, to have a better response.
Mr. Goerens, we need a post-Marshall Plan, post-Ebola Marshall Plan. Do we need it?
Let's call it Marshall Plan. Let's simply acknowledge that the European Union is the first donor. The European Union over the past always faces its responsibilities. It never hid it behind weak arguments for not acting. No, that's not the case. The European Commission is, in my view, the most important actor for this crisis and for the following crisis, because we are well equipped, but we have to improve our behavior as 29 actors obliged to coordinate their efforts. That's, in my view, one of the first conclusions. Which
imposing an intra screenings, for example, when you say we have to oblige member states.
It's a matter of responsibility. We have to assume our responsibilities. We have everything needed to be informed. Well, it's up to the member states to overcome this incapacity.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you, both of you, for coming, and thank you for following us. Bye.